Alright, hello and welcome everybody to Shan, Sweet Osmanthus. This is a visual novel, not Japanese by the way, it is Chinese in the original. It was on Steam, I saw it and I thought, man, I'm having so much fun with Katawa Shoujo, why not play this? So, I don't know much about the plot and stuff. I read a few reviews though, and they said that this is a kinetic novel, which means no decisions and such. So this is just me reading stuff. If you don't like that, you should probably leave. But if you like it, then please stay. I think I'll have a lot of fun with it. And yes, let's jump right in, shall we? Yeah. Oh, this is a little... Can we do that? Oh no, I think we have to deal... Whoops. With this. So, let's just read. I often think back to my childhood, especially my family. We were a large family, and we lived an idyllic life. My grandparents, aunts and uncles, all of them contributed to this joyous atmosphere. By the way, the reviews also mentioned that the English is sometimes a bit wonky, so it's not always perfect English, but mine isn't either, so I think I can adjust. I hope you can too. In those carefree days I would often think, if only this could last forever. We went on memorable family outings to the mountains. Warm words and laughter always accompanied us on our voyages. Voyages, probably. I thought, if only this could last forever. I always considered myself such a pessimistic child. In reality, I was probably too optimistic. Yeah, as a child I also thought I was pessimistic, but I think I was much more optimistic as a child than I'm now. Anyway, it was the end of the summer. Pleasant scent was heavy in the air. The serenity of the forest was overpowered by the deafening buzz of cicadas. The so-called peaceful afternoon only exists in stories. With a sigh I made my decision. I struggled to my feet so that I could step out of the shade. No success. Do they talk themselves? Whoa. Well, this is an anime drawing or manhwa. Manhwa, I don't know how you say it. I know how you write it, Chinese comics, but the how do I say it? All lady parts are very anime-like. The ground beneath the fierce sun was covered by a misty vapor. The plants seemed to almost fear the sun. They kept their distance from the grass. I should have brought another bottle of water. I think she really speaks Chinese. Cool. How many times did I tell myself that? I think she, by the way, if you're interested, she probably speaks Mandarin because the Chinese version, it is written in as Mandarin, not, you know, Cantonese. I continued my complaining. Perhaps I was trying to console myself. Unsurprisingly, my ceaseless whining provided no relief from the heat. Sighing again, I attempted to stand up and look around, hoping to find any reason to face this ghastly sunlight. The back on my back felt like 1,000 pounds. Whoops. It was filled random, apparently heavy personal effects. My shoulders began to feel stiff. I removed the bag and held it in my hands. The sweat from my back evaporated quickly. The pain still lingered in my shoulders. After a while, the bag became too heavy to carry, and I tossed it to my feet. Shouldn't have taken so much. I shook my head, braced myself, and looked forward. In my stupor, I saw a store just up on a hill. A cola would sure be nice, a Coke for you American people. It had been 43 minutes and 4 seconds since I drank up the last of my water. What? You know that Wow, okay. For such a large place, it seemed rather barren. I saw no sign of other visitors. Though I was half convinced I would perish from thirst, I knew that the store on the hill could provide me with some respite. Perhaps some sort of life-saving straw? Maybe this time the straw would be too dry. I will need a water plant. Alright, I didn't understand that. But let's just go on. I shook my head in disapproval of my own terrible sense of humor. With or without this water plant, I still had to cross the unshaded lawn to get to the store.
啊，总比渴死强啊！
I wonder if I should always read out what she says. I don't think so. I'm the narrator and you can read the rest. If it is voice acted, yeah, I don't think I need to repeat everything. I convinced myself and staggered out of the shade. If you want me to read it out, if someone is seeing this Let's Play, if you want me to read out the lines, tell me in the comments. But I think it destroys the mood a little bit if I repeat everything she says, even though she speaks Chinese. 5 minutes later. I regretted my decision. Yeah, the store wasn't open. It's Wednesday. Even the most popular tourist attractions do not see many crowds during the work week. It's not unusual for such a little store to be closed on such an occasion. Some empty boxes were piled beside the door. Keeping up good spirits, I forced a smile and continued to look around. Behind the store was a forest. Through the forest and on a hill sat an ancient-looking path. Behind this path stood a pavilion. The pavilion, while exceptionally old, looked magnificent. Adorning each of the pavilion's four corners were bell-shaped wind chimes, ringing out crisply. I felt it best to stay there until sunset. I made my way to the pavilion. The pavilion was smaller than it had seemed from a distance. Still, it was rather spacious on the inside. It was much cleaner than I expected too. I attributed this to lack of tourists. Well, really looks nice. I don't know, are these photos or is this drawn? I think this is drawn, isn't it? Well, at least it definitely looks realistic, but still it doesn't really look like a photo. Well, at least it looks nice. I think that is the most important thing. That is what counts. Normally I would consider myself far too pricey to sleep in such conditions, but today was an exception. I was exhausted. I thought nothing of it and proceeded to lie in a corner.
Wow.
I gazed out from the pavilion. For the first time today I felt lucky. I took in the sight of the late summer forest and the clear azure sky. A dense flock of birds glided by and then disappeared on the other side of the forest. Wild flowers bloomed along the path as butterflies danced among them. The wind gusted. The forest's canopy quivered like a ribbon. Through the trees I could see a few indistinct old buildings. The chimes rang out clearly, the distinct sound echoing throughout the hills. I closed my eyes and took in a deep breath. The earthy aromas emanating from the stream, soil and rotting leaves, along with fleeting bits of my own memories, brought me to a place of great nostalgia. Pleasant days, important people, hushed voices, gently brushing air. Sweet. The air evoked sweet memories of the past. Memories also tied to autumn, the end of summer. You know, autumn is always at the end of the summer. Sweet and intoxicating. An irresistible fragrance. Oh, okay.
桂花。
I tried to open my eyes. The fragrance beguiled as a pair of soft and delicate hands covered my eyes, playing and hiding. I held a distant dread that once removed the sweet fragrance might fade away. I attempt to retain my childlike sense of awe. Whoa! Huh? Ah, okay.
是吧？
Yeah, you were just looking like a fox for a moment. Is this real? The air was still heavy with the scent of sweet Osmanthus. I heard a honey-like voice, and beheld a face as delicate as a cherry blossom.
诶，
I temporarily lost the ability to speak.
真的不要紧吗？好像很累的样子。没事，真的没事。要水吗？
With that, the girl took out a purple thermos.
不知道合不合口味。啊，请。
The girl took out a cup, filled it with tea, and handed it to me. I could smell the light aroma of tea.
谢谢。那我不客气了。
I didn't hesitate and took the cup from her. Even though I was practically dying of thirst, I wished to retain composure in the presence of this mysterious young lady. The light green liquid in the cup was fairly transparent. I felt a sudden coolness rush to my face. The tea was apparently iced. When I raised the cup to my lips, the aroma filled my nostrils. I sipped my tea slowly, indulging in the pleasures it offered. The aroma of tea and honey paired well with the fragrance of sweet Osmanthus.
怎么样？
Oh, this was short. Oh, this was even shorter. I responded firmly and then quickly drank up the tea. While rather ordinary in visual presentation, the tea was superb. That's my comment. Greatest laugh ever. Upon hearing my praises, the girl smiled. Her smile was as impressive as her tea. She has weird eyes, though. But our protagonist had also eyes like that. I suppose that's the drawing style they present to you.
真的十分感谢。
I hope you can hear the voices well. They are so silent. I felt a little bit strange expressing thanks to a girl younger than myself.
我应该做的。
Always these Asian hierarchies we don't understand. Who cares if she is younger than you, really? Her mannerisms and general demeanor were quite graceful and modest, implying class. She was about 12 or 13 and quite slender, and showed absolutely no signs of world weariness. I felt sort of embarrassed just looking at her.
我叫贺佳，姐姐是。
She raised her hand slightly as she spoke.
我叫韩慧。
I nodded. So her name is He-Jia. Oh my god, I will slaughter this name. I repeated in my name, He-Jia. I'll roll with that, He-Jia.
韩慧姐姐。
He-Jia called me with her sweet voice, and added a sis. He-Jia seemed quite pleased and chuckled. The last time that I was called sis by a little girl was many years ago. With these feelings in my mind, I derived a great sense of satisfaction. The sweet taste of the tea, her sweet smile, her sweet voice, and her sweet words.
这附近平常人很少，韩慧姐姐在那儿，说不定会遇难的。
Die? Why is that?
遇难也太过。
Yeah.
不过真是多谢了，本来想傍晚再走，这下就不用了。
Why dying?
是不是迷路了？
Yeah, probably.
迷路，有目的地的人才会迷路吧？我的话，只是随便走走。
Well, that's a steep.
是吗？
The girl stared at me in disbelief with her head tilted slightly. Wait just one moment, I have a look if we can make the voices louder. Ooh. Menu. Music, sound, voice. No, the voice is okay. So maybe we'll turn down the music a little more so that we can hear the voices. I don't know if that'll do good, but let's try it. Alright. The girl stared at me in disbelief with her head tilted slightly. Her inquisitive expression made me smile. Too cute. Upon seeing my smile, Jia returned the gesture bashfully.
然后就顺利的迷路了呢。
I thought you couldn't get lost if you have no purpose. Well,
我就
well.
说嘛，这一带没什么景点，很少有人往来。
Huh.
小时候经常和家人一起在附近野炊，就是想找找当时去过的地方。
For reasons I did not fully grasp, I told Jia my journey's purpose. It wasn't a secret or anything. It was just that I seldom share these sorts of things with others. I generally avoid the topic of myself in conversation. Jia's expression changed. Her big sparkling eyes widened.
原来是这样，就是说，目的地还没找着。
Oh, I get the feeling this shit is really deep.
是啊，毕竟5、6岁之后姐姐也没有来过，只有一点点印象了。
Jia nodded and smiled again.
这样的话，韩慧姐姐，如果不介意，让我来为你带路吧。
Well, that would be cool.
带路？
Jia's eyes were sparkled with excitement.
姐姐寻找的一定是充满回忆的地方，就让我来带路吧。
Okay, cool.
一起去找姐姐回忆中的地方。
谢谢了，不过还是算了吧，毕竟是连我都不知道地方。
Yeah, that's why she is guiding you. Oh, sorry, you weren't done speaking, now you are.
没事，交给我吧。其实我就住在附近，小时候在山里长大，大小景点、有趣的地方我都知道。
Saying this, Jia extended her hand. By the way, I don't know, is it in Chinese like in Japanese? The first name is the family name and the second name is your first name?
不过不麻烦你吗？
附近的事情只要问我就好。
那
Jia's hand beckoned. I took it and carefully stood up.
那带路可以拜托你吗？
Cool. Now we have a companion. Was it all an illusion? I had just been dying of fatigue and have now been saved by some little girl. Maybe you are in a coma or something. Then the little girl led me to my destination. Was this some karmic reward? Don't believe in karma, but okay. I couldn't remember doing anyone a favor. Bemused but ambivalent to this fact, we set off. The girl skipped and twirled about with the agility and grace of a creature of the forest. Sometimes she wouldn't turn back to see whether I was still following her, hesitated, and then kept moving forward. Ah, okay.
这么说，姐姐已经是大学生了。
大一。
Jia turned back and began to walk backwards.
真好，我也许一辈子都进不了那地方了。
What's that? No money?
大学好玩吗？
Or maybe you're a spirit.
挺自由的，活动也很多，字也很少。
Wow, university must be cool in China. I have to do a lot of more work in university than I had to do in school.
哦，对，偶尔也上上课吧。
Jia's head was askew. She didn't seem to fully grasp my words.
大学和中学不一样，课程时间很多都是由自己安排的，所以空闲时间会比较多。
原来是这样啊！
Jia nodded. This time she seemed to understand.
你呢？应该已经放暑假了吧？
Though I wasn't completely sure, Jia appeared to be wearing a school uniform.
嘿嘿，今天补习，不过我翘掉了。
Great.
翘课嘛，从来没敢尝试呢。
That's nothing to be proud of, actually.
补习是自主参加的嘛。
Wow. Okay, this is a cool school. I want to go to
我
this
成绩
school.
凑合，所以今天就放假啦。
这么开明吗？ 我都想重新读一次了。
嘿嘿，很不错的学校吧？
Gia said. She then turned around and stepped forward. I remembered that Gia mentioned she lived somewhere around here. The Purple Mountain was not far from downtown. By the way, I read in the reviews that these are Wikipedia links. So if you want to know what the Purple Mountain is, you should pause the video and go look it up. I won't do it because, you know, I'm doing a Let's Play and this is kind of difficult to do all at the same time, so we'll just go on. The Purple Mountain was not far from downtown. The people that live here were all wealthy. She said that the attendance depended upon herself. I wondered, is she from a wealthy family? Pondering this, I glanced at her again. A purple dress clung tightly to her porcelain skin. She wore her hair tied back with orange hairless, a singular feature that captured her youth. I still think she's a fox spirit, because, you know, in the beginnings she had a tail and fox ears.
怎么了？
I felt a little bit shy about making eye contact and turned around.
没什么啦，只是在想还有多远。
啊，这就到了。过了这段山路，就是姐姐说的都是石像的地方。
Oh, cool.
真的就在前面吗？
走过这片树林就是了。
I started to feel excited. Soon I could relive memories of my lost childhood days. Trees became a less common sight as we made our way. The road debris gradually began being replaced by stones. I hastened my pace. I knew I must soldier on despite my weariness. Soldier on? Okay. The promise of reliving grand memories lay ahead. Alright, so the English is sometimes really, even to me, a bit weird, but you know. Maybe I just don't understand the phrases. There was a spectacular path lined with statues and trees. Ancient mythical beasts guarded the grave of a king, and also myself from my memory. Cool.
找到了，就是这儿。
I could hardly contain my excitement. A sense of joy filled my heart. Everything was as I remembered. The path, the statue which Dad put me onto, and the historical marker which my mother read to me. As I walked along the path, I extended my hand to touch every statue, as if to tell them that I had returned.
我回来喽。
By the way, I love the art style. Do you see the background? I love the art style. This is like the colors, and reminds me a bit of Benjamin. You know, this Chinese manga. I don't know how you say it. Chinese manhwa artist who has a similar style. Maybe that's the style you draw comics in China. I have no idea, to be honest, but I'm liking it. Finally, the words came out of my mouth.
欢迎回来。
The girl answered in place of the statues. She put her hands behind her back and leaned forward, smiling proudly. She maintained a posture reminiscent of a dog waiting to receive a treat.
刚才带路，多谢了。
There you have a treat. I reached out my hand and stroked Heijia's head. Oh, okay. I do not make it a habit of touching girls' heads, honestly, yeah. But I couldn't help myself, she was adorable.
哦，对不起，不喜欢吗？
Yeah, don't touch people, you know. Oh, okay. She nodded, her little head got closer. Was she okay with that?
不过隔了这么多年，似乎变得不少。
I did not remember the place being so clean. The statues were not surrounded by fences. The path was not so tidy. The place of my memories also had a golden hue. Perhaps it was autumn at the time.
似乎整修过。
毕竟这里已经是世界文化遗产了嘛。
Oh, cool.
世界文化遗产。
这里是明孝陵甬道，明太子朱元璋陵墓的神道。
Alright, but why aren't... I personally think if this is something so famous, there would be more tourists, but okay.
哎，
Though a local resident, I knew nothing about this.
从入口开始，分别是狮、谢豸、骆驼、象、麒麟、马。
Wow, you really, if you want to look everything up, you have a lot to do, huh?
谢豸是
Wow, that's how you say that?
哦，就是那边的，长着一只脚的动物。
大家好厉害，知道那么多。
嘿嘿，谢豸其实很常见啦，比如戴眼镜、头发挺长的哥哥。
哎，
啊哈哈，没什么没什么。
I'll tell you, she's a ghost.
总
A
之，
spirit
这
or
里
something.
现在是世界闻名的旅游景点，怎么样？不错吧？
The girl spoke with pride, like someone introducing guests into their home for the first time. I couldn't help but jest.
明明是世界闻名的旅游景点，却一个人都没有。
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about too.
那是因为今天比较热嘛。
Gia could not seem to conjure a better reason. She looked a little flustered.
没有游客，小卖部都不开，我可是差点晕倒呢。
Ah, come on, you almost died. Then buy something to drink before you go on a stroll or something.
那是因为王阿姨家刚刚生孩子，阿姨回去。
I couldn't help laughing at the statement that suddenly came out of her mouth.
这么说，此刻我们都占世界的遗产。
She seemed to be satisfied with this. Her eyes sparkled with excitement.
好厉害，我第一次发现呢。
你还真是有趣。
After saying this, I stroked her head again. She clearly enjoyed it. The Emperor's tomb, which has sat quietly for hundreds of years, served as the backdrop to this lovely scene. Though I had some initial misgivings, I felt fortunate to have made this trip.
给
Okay, so, I think we'll make our first pause here. Let me see, how long? Probably, I don't know, I didn't keep the clock. I don't know how long we are rolling now, but apparently I think like 40 minutes probably, or just half an hour. Well, anyway, I think it's a good point to make a cut. So, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see how the story goes on, then come back. And if you want me to read the statements of the girls or something, then tell me too. So, see you then. Bye bye.